So I think that's the fastest time between a comic being written to when it was made into a movie. But that's just probably because it wasn't until when you and I, Ryan, were in high school or middle school when they started. They just decided to start doing DC and Marvel animated films on superheroes.
Yeah, that was I think yeah, I don't it might because I remember the first one seen was like the commercials for the original Death of Superman.
Yeah, yeah. Since I didn't start reading comic books until after I got in college, I saw the movie first, and to me, this movie was fantastic. Since I didn't know everything from the comic at the time, I didn't know what they had left out. But everything that was in there, I thought it was really good writing and stuff, and a good interesting story because they do uh, both the comic and movie, they do have the same premise of at the very beginning of both. Saran has to save a research team from dying. That's doing research right next to the sun because they have to get that close to get the correct readings and stuff like that. That since it's comic books, and then Saran saves them, but since Saran is so close to the sun, he starts to absorb too much solar radiation, which gives him his powers, and so he gets oversaturated with power, and is he and the scientist that he helps looks at him and sells and stuff, and he sees Superman, you're dying, man. Superman's he's oh, he doesn't say the effort, but you can just tell he's oh fuck, I'm dying, and then and so it's the story of how he deals with it and trying to help as many people out as he can, and trying to get you know things ready for when he passes and stuff like that, and having also one last, not hurrah, but one last spent time with Lois, since he's not gonna have that anymore after he leaves, well, not leaves, but dies. So
Right.
um first I'm gonna talk about the comic book, and then I'll let you know what things are different from that to the movie, and what the
Yeah.
movie left out.
Alrighty.
And so the plot is it starts off exactly the way I just told y'all. It starts off with a research team headed by Dr. Leo Quint Tom, and they're exploring in the sun, and sabotaged by Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
and Superman rescues them and acquires a new ability um, that projects a bioelectric aura, and Luthor orchestrated this event to overwhelm Superman's cells, of course, with its all bunch of you know solar radiation, and then you know the Doctor is the one that realizes oh crap, Superman here, the level of power you have now is killing you, and so um when the comic it's he has 1 year left to live, and so Luthor is arrested thanks to an article by Clark Kent from the Daily Planet, and then Superman decides to keep his death a secret from the public, and so he keeps it from everyone accept Lois, since of course that's his love interest, and so because he wants to spend the remaining time with her, he Lois intentionally refuses to believe that Clark and Superman are the same person, and so for her birthday, Superman takes her to the Fortress of Solitude, where they have a dinner and room of the Titanic, and which Superman raised and restored. And during this visit, he also tells Lois that she can explore the fortress, uh, and for one room he is um, constantly checking in. So Superman's further behavior heightens Lois' suspicion, and she becomes paranoid. And she attacks Superman with a kryptonite laser.